What's up, YouTube? Willies with Bug. Awesome day. Big day. FX throttle. I've been waiting for this throttle ever since I got this bike. It's been months. Every single website is always sold out. I know the FX Throttle has their own websites, but there's a few different websites that sell them that are trustworthy. I use TB Electric. I think it actually stands for the Talaria Boys. I got nothing but good things to say about that website itself. I'm not sponsored by them. I don't get any discounts or anything like that. I'm purely showing love because I've bought multiple things from them, the FX Throttle and the Supermoto tires. Everything came packaged great. Everything I ordered came within 4 to 5 days. Awesome company in my opinion. I'll definitely keep buying from them. I wish I could do a video on the setup and installation of this thing, but I just don't have the equipment and everything to set it up or somebody to hold the camera for me, which I hate because there's not a lot of videos on the FX Throttle installation. Now it is fairly easy, so I'll show you what I took off to be able to get to it. But guys, the FX Throttle, man, the gold standard of throttles on e-bikes. Super pumped for this. I know that everything I have on my bike is stock, performance-wise, stock battery, stock motor, stock controller. A lot of people say they can feel a difference in throttle response. Maybe that's because of the short rotation. This comes with a shorter rotation. It's got a 65-degree short rotation, so a lot of it probably has to do with that. But also, there's a lot of dead zone in these stock throttles. A lot of them, you have a lot of play before it gets to the bike. So with that being said, if you don't have the funds for the FX Throttle, for like 15 bucks, you can get a metal tube to replace it, which is what I did when I first got the bike. It's pretty snappy itself, and I would recommend that if you don't have the funds. But this throttle in general, this throttle is sweet. It's on the lowest setting. It's got a ton of snap to it. This thing is sweet. So I'm super stoked to get that on. I'll show you what I took off to be able to get to it. So there's a skid plate. I didn't take off both bolts. I have a shift lock on there. I just took off one on both sides. It came down. There was a little cover that had 2 Phillips head screws that I took off. I didn't have to take the number plate off like a lot of people did. This is the throttle itself. It goes down to a little boot and it's just plug and play. So it's not very hard at all. My dad's the one that's super mechanically inclined. I usually get him to do this stuff for me, but I live a few hours away. I don't have that luxury anymore, so this isn't that bad. Something that everybody can handle. So just plug and play, new throttle. Super stoked to get this thing on. If you go back and check out some of my old videos, you'll see the point of views, just raw sound that you could go back and compare to when I put this FX Throttle on. Man, I'm super stoked to get it on, so let's get to it. All right, guys. Got some grips, everything's put back together. FX Throttle installed, let's go. I cannot wait to chop this thing. I don't think I really showed my bike too much, so here we go. Like I said, just a bunch of cosmetic stuff. Haven't really done anything too much performance-wise. I'm gonna get some frame guards next. Get my dad to paint them like a dark blue sparkly color to match my Harley Street Glide in there. I think they'll go pretty good. Parked next to each other. Look pretty good at least. I don't really do stickers too much, but FX put some pretty cool stickers in there, so I threw it on. Took my 3-year-old with me to Cycle Gear, let him pick out the grips. He picked out the classic Pro Taper pillow tips. Man, that thing's got some snap to it. I really love a good snap. FX Throttle. Without further ado, let's go. Let's get into it. All right, guys, FX Throttle on. Super pumped to rip this thing. It's insanely hot here in South Carolina. It's a heat index up at 100 and it's hot. So let's rip this thing. I haven't really got to mess with it in the past 2 days because my wife was working. I was watching the little one. So obviously I'm not going to install it and then not ride it. So I rode it up and down the road a few times. And probably the one thing that I noticed the most was how sensitive it is. The dead zone is kind of still there. It didn't really mess with that. I'm not really too much worried about that. It's not enough for me to care too much. Super sensitive, super snappy, and it's super smooth. That for sure. Like riding the wheelies and stuff like that, it's noticeably different. And I know there's no performance parts on the bike, so it's probably the stiffness in the throttle itself. It doesn't have that spring in it, which everybody knows if you have this surron and you mess with the throttle, the spring was so annoying. It doesn't have that, so it's just super smooth. And nobody wants to sit here and hear me blab over and over again, and I don't like talking anyway, so let's get to it. Let's rip this thing. Oh yeah, the most important part, yesterday I ordered the Ultra B rear brake kit. I'm stoked to get that on. Let's give him a show. a foot brake. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I post my point of views. I'll do a couple on my Harley, and anything I do to the bike. Like I said, I'm gonna try to record. I couldn't record the throttle because I just didn't have a setup or anything to put the camera and really show it, but that was super easy. So I'm gonna try to do the Ultra B brake setup and install it, and then do another point of view ride. So let's go. FX Throttle, awesome.